Hey guys, welcome to Drop Time, the self-proclaimed #1 podcast that covers the latest sneaker releases. We're your hosts with the most.
This is Jamal.
This is Luis. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at @droptime_, and also on Instagram at _droptime.
Today is December 27th. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. I hope you enjoyed Christmas on the 25th. Not too much happened. We finally got a break in the week. But as always, the day after and every day after that, Nike is not stopping. It's always Nike. Nike out here trying to make all the money. But we have a great week coming up. Let's give you a quick rundown of what we are going to see this upcoming week. So it's going to be December 27th to January 2nd. Happy New Year to everybody. Early Happy New Year. Sunday, the 27th, what we saw already, which was already covered, we'll talk about it a bit later on in the podcast. But we saw the Undefeated by Nike Air Max 97s in a green and a black colorway. This was a set. And then on Monday, the 28th, we will see the Bodega by Nike Dunk Highs Legend. We will see on Tuesday, the 29th, again, we will see the official release of the Undefeated Nike Air Max 97s. And to follow on Wednesday, the 30th, we will see the sneakers release, possibly wider release of the Bodega Nike Dunk High Legend. We will also see on Wednesday the Nike Lebron 8 Lakers. And to end Wednesday, we will see the Air Jordan 11 Adapts. Then on Thursday and Friday, there is nothing set. Friday is New Year's. Nice thing that we have another break, just like Christmas. But then on Saturday, to kick off the new year, we will see the Air Jordan 13 Starfish. I think that's going to be a real good one. We'll go into more depth in that. But let's give you a recap of what we saw in this past week. So on Sunday, as usual, we saw nothing. On Monday, the 21st, we started off the week with the Nike Zoom 4 Matthew M. Williams in a gray or stone colorway, depending on who you're talking to. Let's take a survey of what we thought about this shoe, because this is definitely one of those like more futuristic shoes that Nike's trying to go after. What was your personal take on this, Luis? Was this a shoe that you would actually wear, or is this something more of just a flip, or is just such an ugly shoe you didn't even want to touch it?
This is definitely up my alleyway. This is definitely something I would wear personally.
Okay.
In the previous podcast, we talked about how like the bottom was what was the shoe? I forgot what it was called.
The ISPA Road Warriors.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the ISPA Road Warrior. Yeah, so it's like an ISPA I can't even say it. Road Warrior bottom, but the top reminds me of like Air Max.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
Those are both shoes that I love to wear and that I love. They're just comfortable.
So overall. You think they did good on this one?
The design wise, yeah, it's definitely something different. But the only thing that I have to complain is the price. The price point is definitely out of somebody's like normal people's, like working people's budget. You know, because who's gonna spend $450 on a pair of shoes?
And also, they didn't really add anything extra to. I don't understand what the $450 is for. There's nothing like extra about the shoe that needs that extra price. They didn't add any like different materials or something like that where it's like, oh, it costs us more to make it, so we're gonna charge you more.
It's just the name. It's just the name that they added.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why it went up.
Yeah, that's very possible. But this shoe, like Luis just said, retailed at $450. Resale right now is saying $550 to $700. So there was definitely money to be made. At the end of the day, at a $450 shoe, there's only so much money you can make. So you're not making like crazy money, but hey, there's something. For anybody that went for them, there was something there, ended up being. But yeah, that was a decent release. Definitely very limited, hard to get. But what else did we see drop on Monday, Luis?
So on Monday, we also had the Adidas ZZ 700 V3 in the clay brown colorway. This release was like every other release normal. It came out on all the regular websites, Shopify, came out on Easy Supply and everything, whatnot. It was sort of limited, but if you tried and you had notification enabled, there was definitely opportunity for you to get the pair that you wanted. So the shoe retailed at $200. Current resale is at $240 to $270. So there's a definitely opportunity to make some money on this if you did get it. Did you go for this one, Jamal? Did you sit?
I thought these were gonna brick. I'm honestly surprised that there's decent resale needs. I thought they were gonna end up like the clay browns that we saw for or like the onyx. This was pretty much like an onyx color, which is what we talked about. I understand 700 V3s are good, but I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like maybe around 220. I was not expecting 240 to 270. That's a surprise to me.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from. Like the colorway is, so it does give like something to think about. But the thing also, it's a black Yeezy.
Yeah, but I mean,
but
it didn't even do any. It wasn't even enough for the 380s. Like they had this exact colorway on a 380, and it bricked like crazy. Like, is a 380 just that bad of a shoe that not even a black colorway can save it?
They're all bad. All of them have been bad. So
I guess
it's a lost cause.
Yeah, I was just expecting something similar to like the 380s because since this clay brown is almost identical to the onyx, I thought it wasn't going to do that well just based on that. But I guess this just shows how bad 380s are compared to 700 V3s. This one I was wrong on. I thought it wasn't going to do worse. I didn't even try to go for them.
Yeah, it's your loss, man. It's your loss.
That's definitely my loss. So congrats to anybody that actually went for them. You ended up making some decent money.
Yeah, but that's not it. On Monday, we also had the Sakai Nike Vapor Waffle come out in the Villa Red colorway. This was a U.S. exclusive release because
this was just
the rest of the world
sneaker.
already got them.
Yeah.
The sneakers, yeah. But because the rest of the world have already got them, so
exactly.
this release was exclusive to the United States. Retail 180, current resale 325 to 490. So there had been numerous opportunities for you to get these shoes in different regions. You could always use a reshipper, so it's not an issue. But this was, I guess you could say, the last chance. And we've seen this trend of Sakai's Vapor Waffles doing really, really good numbers. So if you didn't go for these, I guess you've been sleeping on the entire podcast and everything Drop Time has to offer.
Yeah,
I know for a fact. Yeah, I know for a fact that Jamal went for them and I went for them. But the thing I don't know is, did you get them, Jamal?
What do you think? Of course not. I've yet to get a Vapor Waffle. I'm still waiting. I've yet to get one.
I know you didn't get it, Jamal. I just have to ask you the question, to create content.
Hey, you never know. Maybe I came through and I'm like, yeah, I got one, but no, not this time. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting.
The day that you get a Vapor Waffle, I'm gonna buy you Uber Eats from McDonald's Uber Eats.
All right. I'm gonna have to step my game up and try to figure out a way to get one then.
Yeah, man, that's where it's at, man. But yeah, that was pretty much it for Monday. It was a pretty solid Monday. Good releases, good opportunity to make some money, and good opportunity to buy some fashion with the Matthew M. Williams Nike collab. But that's pretty much it from Monday. So did anything cool happen on Tuesday, Jamal?
Yeah, so there was one good release. We saw the women's Nike Dunk High in the Varsity Purple. So this was for the US release. It has been a while since we actually saw them already drop in Europe. So finally the US got their chance at them. Retail on them is $110. Resale right now actually sitting at $196 to $220. So there's very good profit margin in this one. Like I said before, I personally think this was one of the best in the Varsity pack. I'm not sure about you, Luis, but I definitely think this is one of the best.
Now it looks cool and everything, but I'm not really a fan right now
of dunks or just this color.
This color and dunk highs, I don't know. I feel like this color is just boring.
Yeah, I mean the whole Varsity pack is pretty plain colors.
Yeah, it's just boring. It doesn't have enough pizzazz for me, man. It's not a J Balvin collab. Oh,
so you want something like that crazy? And other than that, it's nothing. It's too basic.
Basically, if it's not like J Balvin collab or those Travis Scott's, the lows,
I'd be amazed to see what shoes you have in your closet because of that. If nothing's grabbing your attention, unless it's like a J Balvin collab, that's some bright shoes. That's some crazy shoes.
Hey, next time I'm in the office, you can see my shoes, man.
All right,
I'm wearing
there we go.
all the time.
But this was definitely a good one. I hope you at least went for them, even if you think it's a boring color. I hope you at least went for them.
No, I did. I went for them and I struck out. Like every other week. I'm just playing. No, I do get some shoes sometimes, but no, this week it was bad. I didn't get that pair. I was pretty bummed out. So I was waiting for them to drop on the regional website of where I'm at right now, and I didn't see them drop.
No, they might have done that back when they did the other countries. This was pretty much just strictly US sites.
Yeah, well, sucks for me.
Yeah, next time. There's always another chance.
True.
But that was the only thing we saw on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday the 23rd, what we saw, which this to me this is an interesting. I don't even know about there was an extent of covering it wasn't even worth it, but we saw the Adidas Yeezy Quantum in the frozen blue, and then also the Adidas Yeezy Quantum basketball in the frozen blue. So retail on both of them was $250. On the regular Quantums, resale right now sitting at $207 to $300. So, in my opinion, pretty big bricks. On the basketball version, resale sitting at $230 to $320. So almost bricks. There's some money to be made, but I mean, a $250 shoe, like at $320, you're not making much money after you pay anybody fees. So yeah, these I don't know. For the basketball, I'm a bit confused. I thought the basketball would have done at least something decent.
Yeah, based on previous trends, basketball should have done better. But
there's only one other basketball colorway, and it's doing amazing.
Yeah, but the thing is, you gotta look at the shoes, man. They're basically the same shoes.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before. That it doesn't make sense. I really want to know. I wish I somewhat went for them. It would have been a very expensive experiment at $500. But I wish I would have got one of each just to see did they actually do anything different with the shoe, because for that first colorway when they came out, the very first Yeezy basketball shoe, the ankle was actually much higher than the regular Quantum. So I mean, in all pictures that Adidas showed of these, they're straight up no difference. They were the same exact shoes. So I really wonder what they did different. It's hard to say.
I don't know. Well, I didn't get them. I don't think you got them. So
I didn't even think about getting them.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna be able to see these in hand. I'll just ask one of my friends once they get them in hand. And
you have people go for them.
I have a couple sneakerhead friends who they just buy everything and anything. So I'm just gonna ask them.
That's like somebody I know. They just go for any. They see some hype, they just go for it.
Yeah, man, but the hype isn't ripe all the time. So.
No, especially not for this one. This was one of those Yeezy releases that the only people making money is Kanye and Adidas.
Yep, but that wasn't it for Wednesday. We also had the Titan Air Jordan 23 collab come out. Retail $250, current retail $310 to $340. This was a Titan exclusive.
Yes, on that day, I was just for Titan to release them.
Yeah, but so everybody knows the current pandemic going on right now. There are some travel issues, I guess you can say. I don't really want to go into it within the Philippines. So if you did get these, I hope you.
Well, they ended up actually shipping. They ended up actually putting them on online.
Oh, they did. They did shipping.
Yeah. They did shipping, but of course it was only shipping in the region, so on the option free shipper. But yeah,
please stay safe.
Yes, of course. Anywhere you are in the world, stay safe. This pandemic is not anywhere near over. Just because, not to get political, just because there's a vaccine, even the people that did the vaccine said you still should be cautious because you can still transmit the disease. So just keep that in mind. It's not the savior and end all be all. There's still things you have to consider.
Exactly. And that was it for Wednesday. So it was a pretty solid Wednesday. But everybody knows Supreme Thursdays.
This was the last one for a while.
Yeah, and I'm sad, man. It was a really weak week.
A week ending.
Yeah.
It was like when you watch those movies and you're confused, is this the ending or not?
It's like when you watch... Well, I watch a lot of K-dramas. You watch like a K-drama, you expect like season 2 come out, and then it's like...
It just never does.
It just never does.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good comparison to what this was.
It was like, damn, man, you just left in the dark. But yeah, Supreme Week 18, there was a bunch of stuff that dropped. The only thing that was important was a Swarovski Zippo. Retail $78, resale $120. So I guess after like fees and shipping, there's some money.
So was the $78 the retail, or that's including the $10 shipping that Supreme charges?
No, $78 retail, then plus shipping and taxes.
Okay, so you're nearly at $120 at that point.
Yeah, so unless you're in a no tax state or you went to the store. Yeah. I'm not sure. Are they doing? Oh yeah, they are doing in-store lineups in New York.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I think they are. Because one of my friends who lives in New Jersey signed up.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I know in LA they are.
In LA, man, all of the stuff in LA, there's some confusing stuff.
Yeah, because I still get
who cares about in store?
I still get the messages like on I'm signed up for like Supreme LA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you get them too? Like the messages? I mean the
I'm not
emails.
in LA. I don't get those.
Oh well, I get them. I get them. Even though I'm not in LA,
I've never
I
been
still
to a
get them.
Supreme store in my life.
You serious? You've
Yeah,
never been there?
never been to a Supreme store.
Wow,
Is it that
that's
big of a deal to go to one?
it's like a rite of passage, man. I can't believe you never been there.
I mean, all these bricks that they're releasing, I don't even know if it's a rite of passage anymore. At some point, it's gonna be like going to a Macy's.
That's tough, man.
One day, maybe after all of this is over, I'll fly out to LA just to go to Supreme.
Just the Supreme.
And then I'll fly back.
Now,
That's that rite of passage.
there's this really good boba shop right next to I think it's next to Flight Club. Like I think 2 stores down. Really good place.
Is Supreme's in Melrose?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll go to the Fly Club, I'll go to Supreme, I'll go to Boba, and then I'll go back home.
dude. And there's this burger spot right in front of it.
And I have to go to a burger. Okay, at that point, I'm just staying there. I'm not going home.
Dude, I know the spot's right there, man. It's right down the street from this really big shopping center where they have a lot of different. What is this place called?
The outdoor mall or the indoor?
It's an outdoor mall.
I think I know what you're talking about. That's where the Nike's at, yeah?
Yeah, that's where Nike store is at.
I can't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, it's right down. Yeah, there's a farmer's market right there, and they have some really good. They have this place like Fogo de Chao. It's like all you can eat.
Yeah. We have that out here where I live.
Yeah, but it's all you can eat, man. So it's worth
Yeah.
Oh,
The Brazilian.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, they're all you can eat. But yeah, that wasn't it for Thursday. It wasn't just Supreme and Brazilian food. And flying to LA, we also had the Nike Kobe Zoom 6 in the Grinch colorway. So this was a really hot shoe. Everybody and their mom and their cousins and everybody else has been trying to go for these.
Even the babies were going for these.
Even the babies were going for them, man. What wild times.
Oh, yeah.
These retailed for 180. Current resale 300 to 500 depending on the size. So this was definitely a solid grab. So if you did get them, I guess you can say pat on the back. And if you didn't and you didn't even try, well, tough luck, because this is one of the last opportunities to get this shoe.
Actually, it might not be.
It might not be. Wow.
It might not be, because Vanessa Bryant, after this release, ended up, I can't remember if she put it on Twitter or Instagram, ended up putting that she has been in talks with Nike to try to figure out a way to have it more easy for people to get Kobe's, because that she has realized that Nike has made it very tough for people to get Kobe's. So she's in talks with them to try to figure out a way to make it easier. So it might not be your last chance. You might have some other chances and some better chances in the future. So keep an eye on that.
I guess she wants to expand the Kobe line to what the Jordan line is.
I don't even know if it's expansion. I think it's just the fact that they're like, of course, at the end of the day, there's resellers. But I think in this situation, there are a lot of people that just want Kobe stuff for the memorabilia. They want these releases for the memorabilia, especially when it's a bunch of retro shoes. They want them for just the memorabilia.
Yeah, but don't you see the Kobe line growing to what the Jordan line is? Because when you go to a store, you look at like Jordan branded things, and there's a lot of things. When you go to a store and look at Kobe things, there aren't that much.
Yeah. I think it's just part of Nike. Like Kobe did always have a lot of stuff. Like there was always clothing and the shoes and all this other stuff. I don't know if Nike was ever going to make it as big as Jordan, considering Jordan at this point is its own company within Nike. They pretty much operate separately. They have, like, at the headquarters, they have their own building and have their own section in Nike. So it is a bigger section. So I think that's part of why Jordan brand itself is bigger. But also just the simple fact of, I mean, at the end of the day, Nike released these Kobe's on, I think maybe a total of, like, around the world, I would say a total of like 15 to 20 stores. How are you possibly getting a shoe when you're releasing it at that limited amount of stores, and then the stores that actually got them, they're releasing maybe 200 online, and in store they're getting maybe 400. So like 600 total pairs of shoes per store. You're not touching that shoe. That's too limited.
Unless you use a bot.
Even if you use a bot at those numbers, you still don't have like the best chance. There's still a very good chance that you're not even getting the shoe. So all those people that want to say bots took all the stock, even at that point, you might not even be getting a shoe. So it's like, I understand keeping the shoe limited, but I think in this situation, there's so many people that just want it for the memorabilia. I mean, you have to serve that purpose.
Speaking about bots,
Yeah.
took the stock.
Yeah.
So today there was an Undefeated release, and
Yes.
it was a bunch of people on the timeline just writing crazy stuff, man. It's like,
yeah, saying that they're bricks and that they're so easy and all of this stuff. That they're bricks because they were easy to get.
people complain when shoes sell out, and when shoes don't sell out, they call them bricks.
So what is it? It's what's the saying? Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I've never heard that saying before, but if that's what it is, then I'm with it.
It's pretty much like you can't do good, you can't do wrong. So it's like either way it goes, there's issues.
That's deep.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's interesting that people will call a shoe a brick just because it doesn't sell out within seconds where nobody's able to cop.
Well, there's a lot of talk on the timeline today of what is a brick, what's not a brick, and a lot of people throwing some ugly words around. So if you have bad comments, keep them to yourself. And if you have good comments, by all means, comment them.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people do wear shoes. Not every single shoe is just there to resell. You do realize those people buying the shoes are buying them because they want the shoe. So not every shoe has to be an instant sellout, impossible to cop. There's only 2 of them in the world and you ended up getting one of them. No, it doesn't have to be like that. There's plenty of shoes out there that people want for themselves. And if the release ends up being easy enough for them to get, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
Exactly. That was it for Thursday. So it was a cool Thursday. A lot of things to do. Friday, there's nothing come out on Friday. So Friday was pretty chill. So Friday was
very
Christmas.
nice. Finally got a break.
Yeah, Friday got a break. Did you do anything interesting for Christmas, Jamal? You stay home or what'd you do?
Yeah, just stayed home, hung out with some family, hung out with some friends. That was about it. Not too much.
That's good. That's good.
At the end of the day, still had to keep that social distancing.
No, exactly. Social distancing is key.
Yeah. So not too much. But then to follow up on Saturday, Nike wasn't done. They just gave us one day off and they came right back with a bunch of stuff. So on Saturday 26th, the first thing we saw was a big release. I hope you guys didn't miss out on this one because to me, this was a very good one to get. We saw the Air Jordan 12 in the reverse flu game colorway. Retail was $190. Resell right now is sitting $215 to $250. So decent profit on these. Of course, there's those certain sizes that are only going for about $215. So not too much on those. But if you went for the right sizes, you knew what sizes to go for, then you're making some good money. And this was a solid shoe. Sells easy, sells quick. You can make all of that money you spent on Christmas gifts just going for this one release and reselling it. So there's definitely opportunities there. Was this one that you went for, Luis?
No, I skipped the entire Saturday.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You gotta take a break at some point.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna sleep in, just relax, But this is definitely a profitable shoe. And later on in the podcast, we're gonna drop some key details of where to flip your shoes. StockX and Go are not the only places you can flip these because we know of some places where these are listed for $280.
Yes, shout out to Alberto.
Yeah, Alberto.
Finally, we got somebody that asked us a question to talk about on the podcast. It took freaking long.
Yes, shout out to Alberto. Yeah, we're gonna cover.
What are we on episode 23? Finally, one person actually asked, "Hey, can you talk about this on that podcast?"
He's the only guy who asked us to talk about things. No, I think he asked once already.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. We appreciate it because at the end of the day, we're here to help you guys. If you guys got questions or anything like that, let us know. We'll talk about it. We'll go in depth about it. We'll try to figure out anything we can for you about that question.
Exactly. So yeah, that was it. I guess that wasn't it for Saturday.
There was still a few things.
Yeah, so on Saturday we also had the Medicom Nike SB Blazer Low Air Brick. Retailed $80. Current resale $165 through $210. So decent resale right there. So if you went for them, props to you. Made some money right there. There's also the European release of the Nike Kobe Zoom 6 in the Grinch colorway. This was on sneakers and everything else was pretty much raffles. So as we said earlier in the day, in the podcast, retailed $180, current resale $300 to $500 depending on the size. So that was it for Saturday. Pretty solid week, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
it was a good week. Yeah, so different opportunity. Another opportunity to get the Grinches. So if you got them in Europe and you reshipped them, hey, props to you. You know, going out there, you're trying to hit a different market and whatnot. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for last week, man.
Yep, it was a good week. But let's go in depth on what we're going to see this upcoming week. So today is Sunday. We do conclude a part of our upcoming week, but we'll just go in a bit depth just because we already saw this drop happen. So we saw the Undefeated by Nike Air Max 97s. So today what they did was an early access. They sold it as a set. So they sold both shoes in one set. What it gave you the opportunity if you bought that set was to purchase. Give me 1 second. I have to look at what this is called because I don't even understand what the heck they were giving in this pack. They gave you early access to for a chance to own limited edition Undefeated U-Man cookies. So
what's
it's like there's like a keychain that has there's like 2 keychains, one for each colorway of the shoe, and then there's like a U figure with feet on it. Like for Undefeated, it's like their logo with feet on it. You can put the shoes on the feet. I don't understand what the point was. I don't know how this was a selling point to buy the pack, but hey, it was a chance to get the shoes early. This is what everybody was talking about. These are bricks because they sat. So what they did was it was early access. They were open. It started at 1 p.m. Eastern. I think what ended up being is they had the early access open for about 20 minutes. I can tell you firsthand what I saw happening was a lot of cancels because there were sizes going in and out of stock, and there was a lot of cancels happening. So yeah, they might have seemed easy to get. We'll have to end up seeing how easy they actually were after all things are done. I will give some insight. What I have seen personally, Luis can give his insight. Maybe he has an opinion about this. What I have seen with these early access stuff is sometimes I personally have seen releases end up having these early accesses. They seemed easy to get on their early access, and then when the official drop actually comes, they're beyond limited, and it was pretty much you should have bought during early access. My best example that's relevant right now is all the PS5s and Xboxes. If you had gotten on the pre-orders, they were somewhat easy to get. You had a good 5-10 minutes to pre-order them. Like if you were on Amazon, you could have got multiples easily. You had time to make accounts and were able to get them. So there's a big difference between pre-sale and the actual retail release. So we might end up actually seeing these pretty limited. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the 29th, but that's just my insight. So congrats to anybody that copped. You just secured them early. You don't even have to worry about Tuesday. You just get to cruise through knowing I already got my pair secured.
Yeah, but you forgot one thing, Jamal. This shoe, we already saw it at ComplexCon.
That is very true. We did already see these. So the green colorway is what we already saw. So this was ComplexCon in what, 2017? Was that the year?
I think it was either 17 or 18.
Something like that. I don't think it was 18. I think 18 was when it was in Chicago, yeah?
What? Wait. Yeah, because
we're in 20, so yeah.
It was in Chicago.
Was it 19?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 19. So yeah, I think it's 17. I think it was 17. There was a year that I did not go, so I think it was 17. So in 2017, Undefeated released the Air Max 97s in that green colorway, straight up the same exact shoe. I don't know if honestly, I don't think there's any difference. I think they are the same exact shoe. They released them at ComplexCon. It was a ComplexCon exclusive. This was the one that you didn't end up going to, yeah, Luis?
Yeah, man, that was a mess. I ended up buying the tickets and didn't go.
Hey, things happen. Honestly, you didn't really miss out on much. It was a pretty dumb ComplexCon. But so what they ended up doing, it was some interesting, just to give you some insight, just since this is a podcast, we'll talk. So what they ended up doing was making you buy like a reusable bag, like a tote. They made you buy a tote with it. The shoe ended up coming out to $350. So it's a $180 shoe, ends up coming out to $350 because they made you buy that bag with it. So they were charging, what's that? They were charging $170 for a bag. Unbelievable. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine paying $170 for a freaking bag.
That's way too much.
Nearly as much as the shoe.
Yeah, unless it's the MCM bag, then we're not paying that much.
No, even if it's that, come on. $170 for a straight up just a reusable bag. I mean,
Yeah, bro.
I understand like get your money, but that's just wrong. That's skimping people way too much. Anyways, so what's interesting to me is that shoe currently goes for what, $700, something like that, and then this shoe is shared the same exact thing, just without that bag and that massive premium. Thing goes for right now $220 to $260. So to each his own. We'll see if that market ever adjusts. If anybody ever realizes, hey, this is the same shoe, we'll have to wait and see. But we'll see those release again. We'll on Tuesday. Luis will talk about more about that. But that is all we saw today. And then what are we going to be seeing on Monday? Some pretty big stuff on Monday, Luis.
Yeah, so on Monday we're going to see the Bodega Nike SB Dunk High, the Legend colorway. So this release is going to be first come, first serve online. So right now, if you go to their website, the Bodega website, you see that it says to click on the website to make sure of how the release is going to happen. So we've seen these sort of releases happen in the past. So make sure you have notification enabled to be ready what happens. If there's a change to how the release is going to happen, maybe they add in a game or a question or something, you'll be the first to find out if you have releases, if you have notification enabled. But currently, the shoe's retailing for $120. Current resale $400, $500. So there's a definite profit margin to be made right there. So go after these. There's no reason for you not to.
No,
and the design is right up my alleyway. It's definitely something different. It looks like something cut and sewn. You know, reminds me like Marc Jacobs cut and sewn. Did you ever see that line before?
Marc Jacob? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
No, Marc Ecko. My bad, Marc Ecko.
Oh, well, you taking it far back. Marc Ecko? That's some old stuff. But yeah, I remember that stuff. Yeah,
I remember like a while ago going into the Ecko store. Did you ever go to Ecko store?
I don't think we ever had an Ecko store. I think all that stuff was at Macy's for me.
Yeah, I remember going to the Ecko store, and like when I first walked in there, I was like, okay, Ecko, that's cool. Then I saw Marc Ecko, the brand, and they at the time they did a lot of like cut and sew things. So this definitely brings back the cut and sew vibes.
You know, he started Complex.
Yeah.
He's the founder.
Yeah. I remember.
You make clothing and then you go found a media company. What a transition!
I don't think so. He was pretty involved in like media. So did you ever hear the story about how he did graffiti over this airplane that looked like, what's it, Air Force One? Is it called? No, what's the airplane? The presidential one?
Oh yeah, Air
Force One.
Isn't it Air Force One? I'm pretty sure it's called Air Force One.
Okay, well, Air Force. Anyways, he made a video where
it's called that.
Okay, he made a video where he supposedly did graffiti all over that airplane.
There's no way he got, unless they gave him access, there's no way he got the ability to get that close to do graffiti.
Well, if I remember correctly, he used like a different airplane, or I don't remember what it was.
Maybe like a reproduction or something.
Yeah, I think it was a reproduction. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but I remember that it was like a hoax. So,
I mean, there's no way that he would get that close to the airplane, if the real one.
Yeah, and so Marc Ecko has a history of just creating viral content. So I don't see it weird that he would create a magazine.
I'm not saying it's weird. I'm just saying it's amazing to go from you built a successful clothing brand to then you built a successful media company.
I guess, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and they do have their hands in a lot of different things.
Oh yeah, everything. At this point, everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that was pretty much it for Monday. It's gonna be a solid Monday. I know Jamal's gonna go for these. I'm gonna go for these.
Oh, everybody should be going for these. I don't care if you don't like the shoe. Everybody should be going for these, no matter what.
This is definitely something that's gonna go straight to the toe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about me, but yeah. My shoe is still going strong. I'm not ready for the next one.
I don't know, Jamal. I don't know, man. I think it's time you leave Adidas.
All right, if I get these, I'll wear them.
Wow. Okay, I'll hold you to that.
Okay, it'll be my first dunk that I ever got, but we'll see.
Hey, first dunk you ever do, because I want to see you dunk, man.
I'll have to dunk with them too. All right.
Yeah, I can't be the only dude on the podcast that dunks on everybody.
Okay. We'll make that happen if I actually get the shoe.
All right, so that's pretty much it for Monday. But on Tuesday, we have the Undefeated Nike Air Max 97 come out in the green and black colorway. So this is going to be exclusive release to Undefeated. We might see a wider release later on, so stay tuned for that. The price will be the same as we quoted early in the podcast. Retail 180, resale 220 to 260. Prices might go up, they might go down just a little bit, but that's what we foreshadow. So definitely enter the raffles, because I know Undefeated does a raffle before they release a shoe.
No, this one is just straight up first come first serve.
Straight up first come first serve. All right, well, good luck to you then. So that's pretty much it for Tuesday. I know Jamal's gonna go after these, so I'm not even gonna ask him.
No,
bro, for the flip.
The green maybe the green. The black, I don't see it. But maybe the green.
All right. So that's pretty much it for Tuesday, solid Monday, you know. But I think the day that everybody's looking forward to is Wednesday.
Yes, there's a lot of things happening on Wednesday. So to kick off, we will see the wider release of the Bodega Nike Dunk High in the Legend. So like you already know, they're releasing on the 20th on Bodega, and then they'll release on Sneakers on the 30th. So your second chance to get those. And then we will see, finally, after long awaited, we'll see the US release of the Nike Lebron 8s in the Laker colorway. It's a $200 retail shoe. Right now, resale sitting at $240 to $320. We'll see how hard this ends up being. In Europe, these were very, very, very limited. So we'll see if that carries over to the US and they end up being as hard to get as Europe. I think we talked about this, that you were saying this looks like an old school colorway. Like the shoe, an old school shoe.
Yeah, it looks like something I saw like back in like 2013, dude.
Yeah, so I guess the LeBron 8 was made for the time, and it stayed in the time that it was made for. Because I guess this isn't a shoe that aged well like a Jordan 1 or something like that.
It's not
it's still a good shoe. LeBron 8s are one of those models that people actually like for the LeBron. So we'll see if that price holds up or if it ends up dropping significantly. But definitely, if you're trying to get these, go for them. I think they will be pretty limited and hard to get. But the other release we'll see on Wednesday is the much anticipated Air Jordan 11 in the Adapt version of the Air Jordan 11. So this is going to be the self-lacing shoe like we have seen on the Adapt BBs. You've seen on the Air Mags, of course, the first shoe that had them. The retail price is a steep $500. Do you think that this retail price is justified, considering there are other shoes like the Zoom 4 Matthew William that's $450? Do you think this $500 shoe is justified?
I don't think it's justified at all. It's just because it's a self-tying shoe.
So the regular price of an 11 is what, $220?
Yeah, $220. Yeah, $220. Yeah, $190.
So it's a $208 premium to lace itself. Do you think that's justified? You don't think that's justified?
It's not at all. Do you think it's justified?
No, I think it should be like $300. I don't see how there's $280 worth of technology in that shoe, but I mean,
hey, but what do we know, man? We're not a tech podcast.
Yeah, if I knew that kind of stuff, I would have built something like Nike, and I wouldn't be here. But I'm here talking about the shoe, talking about $500 too much. I guess honestly, I think these are going to go very quick. I think they're going to be pretty limited since it is the first colorway, and that's usually how Nike does it. They keep that first colorway very, very exclusive, very limited, hard to get. So if you want to go for these, I would say go for them. Don't try to sleep on them thinking you can get them later on. Even with that $500 price tag, they're going to go quick. Resale right now sitting at $770 to $950. As limited as they are, and they probably will stay. I wouldn't be surprised if that price kind of stays around where it is. But that's the last thing on Wednesday we will see. We have a nice break towards the end of the week on Thursday and Friday. There is nothing scheduled. Unfortunately, Luis is missing out on those Supreme Thursdays. It is all done for the season. We're going to have to wait a bit until we see those kick back off. But nothing on Thursday, Friday. And then what are we going to end the week off with, Luis, on Saturday?
So on Saturday, we have the Air Jordan 13 in the Starfish colorway. So this colorway has a history of doing good. So even if this shoe is released widely, we still see it doing numbers. Current retail $190, current resale $250 to $350. So it's a pretty wide range of profitability right there. So definitely go after this shoe. Jamal, what do you think about this? You think it's gonna do good? It's gonna do bad? You think it's just gonna flop or what?
I think it's gonna do good. The Jordan 13 isn't necessarily the best model, but it is pretty good considering we have already seen a good amount of Jordan 13s released in the past few months, and pretty much every single one except for the lucky green colorway is doing good. This, like you said, this is a colorway that has historically done well. This is the version that is, I have to look. I think this is kind of what they did for the Jordan 1 in this colorway. That, you know how they did like those like 3 different versions of the Starfish colorway in the Jordan 1?
Uh-huh.
I think this is like, okay, so for the Jordan 1 it was shattered backward. So this is kind of like the reverse shattered backboard. The original shattered backboard had a lot more black in it. So this is more like the reverse. The reverse was good. It is a shoe at the end of the day that sells for $1,000. It didn't always sell for that though. Those first released in 16, end of 16, and back then they were only going for like $280, $300. Man, imagine if you had bought these back then for $300 and they're now selling for $1,000. You wait 2 years and they're selling for $1,000. That's a nice investment right there.
It's a good return, better than buying Tesla stock.
I don't know about that. I think Tesla stock has beat him by a bit, but it's up there. It's up there as a good investment. But at the end of the day, this is a good colorway. It's a solid one. If they're any more limited than other Jordan 13s that have recently come out, I think it does extremely well. At the end of the day, I think they are going to be hard to get. They are going to have some good profit. They're going to have some good resale. I'm not sure about if it'll stay at that 250 to 350, but I think these are a good thing to get if you're trying to flip. I think these are one of those ones that there might be a lot of people that sit these out and then end up realizing, oh, I should have gone for them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a pretty solid week, ending it strong with the Starfish. So we're almost at the end of the podcast. You know, we always have some sort of like conversation in the middle of the podcast, in the beginning, but we're going to reserve this part of the podcast to answer questions. And
finally answer a question. Finally answer a question.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, so Alberto asked us a question. So what are some stores that you can resell besides StockX? Well, platforms I guess you could resell besides StockX and Go. So we created a list of the most popular resale stores, consignment stores in the United States. There might be some other stores, but they're not just.
Yeah, definitely don't skip out on like local consignment, because sometimes those prices can be higher than these, because that's essentially instant gratification, that somebody can go in person, grab the shoe, and get it right away.
Exactly. So there might be some resale stores like in different countries, in Canada, the United Kingdom, so some Asia and whatnot. But the following stores we're going to talk about are the most popular stores within the United States, and they also have an international presence for consignment. So we're going to start off with the number one consignment store in the world, the one that started it all, Flight Club. So Flight Club has locations in Los Angeles and in New York and in Miami, and sometimes they have pop-up locations. So I guess you could say this would be like the number one store to send your shoes at, because they've I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Flight Club also owns GOAT.
Or is it the other way around?
GOAT owns Flight Club.
Is it? I don't know. I'm wondering. Is it GOAT owns them or they own GOAT?
I remember they own GOAT.
And then Foot Locker owns them.
I don't know. Anyway,
heavily invested. Foot Locker owns a good portion of them. Somebody owns somebody. It's a very long chain.
Yeah, somebody owns somebody. But at the end of the day, Flight Club is one of the number one places to resell your shoes. They recently changed up their consignment percentage. I think it's 9.5.
They matched GOATs. So
yeah,
either 8.5 or 9.5, something like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty. It used to be 20%.
Yes, massive difference.
Yeah, to what it is right now.
But then also, I feel like from what I've seen, the prices did take a bit of a hit. They don't sell as much of a premium as what they used to.
Yeah, but Flight Club is the one that has like really good foot traffic. So
100%.
Yeah, so if you walk around Melrose, you see a bunch of people with Flight Club bags. So Flight Club is not just in store; they also have an online presence, and they also sell through Go. So when you buy off of Go and it says instant ship, that means that the shoe is sitting at a Flight Club location, a Flight Club warehouse, and they ship it instantly.
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah. So second store would be Stadium Goods. So they also have various locations in the United States. Are you familiar, Jamal, with Stadium Goods?
Yeah, I've never used them, but I know about Stadium Goods.
Yeah, I've never used them before, neither. So a lot of my friends in New York have used them before, and they have really good experiences. But
what it used to be was the benefit of Stadium Goods is because Stadium Goods has a big presence in Asia. So it used to be very good since like Jordan mids and Jordan lows and smaller size Jordans were much more popular over in Asia. It used to be a good place to sell because they would sell their US supply in Asia also. So it used to be a good place to sell that kind of stuff. And the Yeezys, when Yeezys were the thing to have back a few years ago, it was a good place to sell those. That they would sell at a pretty big premium because there are different price. Like in Europe, a shoe might sell for half the price of what it does in the US, and then in Asia, a shoe might sell for 3 times as much as what it does in the US. So there was kind of like a loophole to get through to the Asia market without having to have like a buyer setup that that was the way to be able to sell. That's definitely changed. Mids and lows of Jordan 1s are much more popular here now. So in my opinion, it's kind of balanced itself out, but it's still a solid place to sell shoes at.
yeah, and the mid popularity is also increasing in the United Kingdom. I feel like the mid popularity is barely getting to the United States.
Yeah, I think it's probably more popular over there.
Yeah, but so there's also a different store called Urban Necessities. This store is located in Las Vegas near the Las Vegas Strip. So this store has a lot of foot traffic. So shoes sell really, really quick there too, as also the other stores we previously mentioned. But one thing different at this store is that this store takes accessories. Well, I don't know if they still do, but back, I think like...
I'm pretty sure because they were even taking PS5s.
Yeah, so I remember this specifically. I sent in a pair of Supreme Fox collab gloves, like motorcycle dirt bike gloves, and they sat there for like 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah, like 5 months. They sat there for 5 months, but they sold at quite the premium.
Okay,
like
so
the price
it was worth waiting.
Yeah, the prices at Urban Necessities are definitely higher than most. And this is good because Las Vegas is visited by a lot of people all over the world and all over the country. So it's a hub. So people go to Vegas, they go to the Strip, and they make a stop at Urban Necessities to buy things that aren't available near them. Mm-hmm. So one thing that you can sell at Urban Necessities it's a pretty good loop are shoulder bags. I have friends, they buy a bunch of shoulder bags and they ship them there and they make good money on them.
Yeah, the people that win at the casino gotta go spend the money on something.
Yeah, so definitely Urban Necessity is a good opportunity. Have you been there, Jamal?
No, I've never been to Urban Necessity.
There was one time I was going to go there. I was going to take the bus from LA to Vegas.
Just to go to Urban Necessity?
Just to drop off a bunch of shoes because I didn't want to drive.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, there's this bus in LA. You pay like $15. I forgot what it was called. You pay like $15 and it leaves in the morning.
So you're being your own UPS man.
Basically, yeah, dude, for $15, I'll definitely sit in the bus for a couple hours to go to Vegas.
Hey, but you didn't end up doing it, did you?
No, I ended up taking everything at Flight Club.
Oh, that's what we do. Well, next time, maybe that'll happen again.
Yeah, hopefully. So, besides Urban Necessities, we also have Riff. Riff is based in Little Tokyo. Riff has a lot of foot traffic. If anybody's familiar with the Little Tokyo area, there's a lot of people there. A lot of people go there. It's a pretty good tourist area in the Los Angeles area. It's near downtown LA, so definitely a lot of foot traffic. They have really good prices. I guess you could say it's comparable to Flight Club, the pricing. I forgot the consignment fee, but I remember it was less. Historically, it's been less than Flight Club. But with the adjustment recently Flight Club did to like 9.5%, I don't know how competitive the rate is with Riff. But it's definitely a good place to sell your things. They have a used store and they have a new store. Like a used store for like used goods. So they have 2 locations. If I remember correctly, they're right next to each other. So if you do go to Riff, make sure you check out the local places around there. There's a lot of good Japanese snacks.
Is it used like vintage clothes and stuff used?
No, it's like used shoes. It's like, you know how like Flight Club also has like a used shoes store, and they have like a brand new store.
I didn't even know the Flight Club had that.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they have 2 locations.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in LA. Yeah.
I'm even learning stuff on this podcast.
Yeah, man. Yep, most definitely. But yeah, it's Riff. Riff is a pretty good option. I've sold that Riff before too. But next is round 2. Everybody knows round 2. They have
You don't
location.
even want to talk about eBay, huh?
No. I'm gonna leave eBay for because eBay it's an online platform.
Okay. Oh, I got you. You're talking about in store.
Yeah. So yeah, round 2 has different locations. They have Hollywood, New York, Chicago, and Miami. And I think at one point they had Virginia. Because I think that's where they're.
Don't they still have Virginia? That's where they're from.
I went on their website and they didn't list Virginia.
Oh, for real? That's where they originated, I thought.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
That'd be so interesting. Imagine if they close. I couldn't imagine you close your original store. That's kind of like you have to always keep the original store.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was like, okay. But yeah, round 2 is a little bit different than these other previously mentioned stores. Round 2 actually buys the shoes or the clothing items or accessories off of you, and then they sell it at a higher price.
Yeah, no consignment.
They don't do consignment at all.
And then they're also focused. I mean, their focus is vintage clothing. It's not necessarily shoes. It's vintage.
Vintage.
Yeah, they just sell shoes on the side. I feel like that's like the side hustle for them.
I don't know. I feel like round 2 is like the place you go to buy used stuff.
Or okay, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's not necessarily like it's not like a Flight Club or like a Urban Necessities where like the focus is the shoes. To me, I feel like they take the shoes as like secondary, not the main.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. But last of the in-store loops, like in-store consignment stores, is Hype on Site. So this is a pretty brand new store in Colorado Springs, in Colorado. I personally shipped in, I think, like 2 pairs of shoes, and they
done some collabs with Urban Necessities, or they did like something with Urban Necessities.
Hype on Site.
Yeah, I think they were like one of the store. Like Urban Necessities had like I think I remember seeing Urban Necessities did a collection with Nautica, and they were one of the stores that actually was selling that collection.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe they were one of the stores that actually was selling that collection. One of the.
I'll ask the owner. I'm pretty good friends with the owner. Well, one of the owners.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was so. It's not like a random store. They're definitely it's a good upcoming store.
Yeah, no, Hype on Site is like the #1 store in Colorado, in that area too, because there's not that many consignment stores in the Colorado area. So I've shipped in shoes before that I thought were bricks to Hype on Site, and they sold there pretty good. So I shipped in what did I ship in? Those Jordans, those black and white ones. No, those black. Was it black and red? Black and yellow.
Oh, the University Golds.
Yeah. I shipped them there. Actually, you know what? I'll go through the email right now to tell you exactly how much I sold them for.
Well, look at this guy flexing on everybody.
Let's see. Okay, right here. So yeah, they sold for $270, and I got paid $233 with 90 cents.
Some good profit, way more than StockX.
Yeah, so they definitely command a better price than StockX, and sometimes a better price than Flight Club. So when you guys are thinking about where to send your shoes, where to sell them at, definitely look at all the different platforms and then compare and contrast to see what is more beneficial to you. For example, if you're on the West Coast, so it might be more beneficial for you to send it to Flight Club because it's closer to you, or maybe Riff, or maybe
or Hype on Site.
Or Hype on Site, or you drive down to round 2, and if you really need the money, instant sell right there. You know, but if you're looking for an online platform because you don't like driving anywhere, or going to a location or mailing stuff in the mail and then waiting for it to sell, you can always list it on eBay. So I know Jamal is a really big fan of this new eBay no fee platform, so I feel he's better qualified to talk about it.
Yeah, so eBay, what they're doing is they do now have authentication, so shoes you buy do get authenticated. But they are doing no fees for shoes above $100. I don't know if that's something they're going to keep forever. That is something that's going on right now. This is not any like paid advertisement or something. This is just straight up us trying to give you some information, because StockX is not the only place you can sell shoes. I know that StockX makes it easy that you just click a few buttons and you can quick sell, but at the end of the day, you are what are the words? You are I can't even think about it. You like the more work you put in, you will be you're rewarded for your effort. So the effort you put in, you're gonna get rewarded. If you take the time to have to ship a shoe to a store that's gonna sell it in their store, or they'll sell it online or something like that, not just like an instant sell like on StockX, you're gonna be rewarded. Like Luis said, he had a perfect example. Hype on site, he sold a shoe, $270 payout. On StockX, you get maybe retail payout. So you went from not making any money to making like $70 for a shoe. You multiply that by 10 shoes. That's a lot of money that you just missed out on if you just sold on StockX.
Payout was $233. The shoe sold for $270. But still,
okay. But still, okay. So even $40. You went from not making any money to making $40 per shoe. Multiply by 10 shoes. That's $400 you could have missed out on. Even on one shoe, there's $40 right there you could have missed out on. So you'll be rewarded for the effort you put in. That if you actually take the time to try it, to do other stuff like on eBay, yeah, you gotta make pictures, you gotta build the listing, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, there's no fees. If you sell that shoe for the same as StockX, you're making more money because you're not paying fees like you do at StockX. So it's just something to think about. That there's so many other ways to sell. At the end of the day, there's a reason that StockX is so big, that they made it so easy to sell the shoes. And then also whatever comes with it, that you can see pricing and all this stuff. But I don't know, still there's a lot of other options I feel like people miss out on, that if you look at over a year, if you're actually reselling, you're actually trying for a good amount of releases over a year. Let's say you get 50 or 100 pairs of shoes, you're missing out on 10%. I mean, you could be talking about thousands of dollars you're missing out on over a year. So it's definitely something to think about.
Exactly. Food for thought, Jamal. Food for thought.
Exactly.
But that's pretty much it for this week. Thank you for listening to Drop Time, the self-proclaimed #1 podcast that covers the latest sneaker releases.
And we hope you had a wonderful holiday. Hope you were able to safely and distance spend time with your family and friends and whoever else you had to do on Zoom, FaceTime. I know it's a tough situation, but hopefully you guys got everything that you were wishing for. Want to wish everybody, since by the time we get back for the second podcast, it will be the new year. It will be 2021. A lot of new adventures we will have coming up in this new year, but we want to wish everybody a happy new year. Hope that you are staying safe, staying distant, and making that money. We want to see people have success. That's all we're out here for, is to see some success. So hopefully you are hitting on all these releases, and do keep in mind, not every release has to resell. We definitely covering stuff that people just want. Like there's shoes that are hard to get. You don't want to pay resale. You want to just get it at retail for yourself. Hey, that's definitely an option. Not everything has to resell for $1,000 for it to be worth buying. So keep that in mind. And make sure you got post notifications on, because you don't want to miss any of the craziness, especially tomorrow. We don't know how Bodega is going to do this dunk release. So keep in mind, keep those post notifications on. Make sure you are ready for anything, and get ready for this upcoming week. It's going to be a nice week.
On behalf of the Drop Time team, we wish you good luck, good health, and good vibes all around. Happy New Year.